Recording. Let's see. I'll put on my other mic too. That way we're really hanging out. Alright, now I should be able to talk over here and still sound good. Sound test. I'm still coming in with a good level. Level enough. Alright, now probably coming good. Alright. Anyways, let's do a little AI music, you know. Was doing a little morning reading. It was like, yeah, I should work on that intro idea. So let's just do it. I'm gonna add a plane, and we're just gonna start off making a Boxcutter logo, which I always love. I feel like a degree of logo worship is necessary. However, I must admit I have also been playing around with different ideas of redefining the logo, but that's another talk for another day. Anyways, I was going to knife it using like knife and have it remain live, but then we'll have all these straight lines, and I don't like the straight lines. I actually want everything to be fairly cubish. So what I'm going to do is apply that modifier, and we're just going to go in edit mode, and I'm going to choose dice, but I'm going to press B to use view dice, and we're going to press D to dissolve the original. Dissolve original is great because it gets rid of the original geometry and puts the new geometry, and there's something magical about that. In fact, let's do it, and we see that, you know, old geometry gone, new geometry there. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it works most of the time. In fact, it's pretty much perfect. But, you know, anytime I say that, someone will come up with a bug report. So I must watch what I say. Anyways, we can get rid of this smooth one and go under geometry new. $5 late. Don't be $5 late. I do so many songs about different topics. It's just a way to just be a little creative, even though I know the world hates AI, but, you know, the world hates a lot of things, and not all of it even makes sense, really. Alright, so let's see, we have this, and what we want to do is split the edges. I'm just thinking out loud. Split. I've never even seen that node. What node are you? I'll have to find out. I've been having fun actually pasting every node into Gemini and just telling it to explain it like I'm scholarly, explain it like I'm 5, explain it in a way that would work with a classroom full of children, explain it in a way that would work with like different types, and I'll just read all of them and I'm like, oh, okay. Alright. You know, explain it like I'm 5. I'm like, oh yeah. You know, I get it at that point. Respectfully, I get it. Alright, so what I want to do here, let's scale elements, vroom, and you know, we have that effect already, and is that all we need? And we call it a day. Just grow it to 1 and we call it a day. You know, one of the things I love about geometry nodes, there's a lot I love about geometry nodes, is this. I love this. I mean, one of the biggest revelations for me was finding out that I could use color mixing modifiers to basically mix vectors. I mean, vector is just one of those things. They haunt me in my career. But we look at this, and I'm just thinking, does this work? You know? No, I'm being lazy. I just haven't played with scale elements. I see it's evolved a little bit. That's what I'm tripping out on. Alright, so what we want to do is, you know, let's convert them to instances. Geometry to instance, and we want to split every one of these into a little instance. Let's see, what do we do with that? Almost, I'm just thinking out loud here, sorry. This is not a normal video. Also, I have not been watching any geometry node tutorials, so, you know, I like just recalling it out of my brain now, just having fun with it. Instance, geometry to instance, like normally I would be trying to record in OBS, but OBS has this thing where it freezes at the end of my recording. So like, I think I mentioned in a previous video I was working on something called stage fright, where I want to record myself when I'm afraid, which is all the time. You know, I get stage fright. So something that would record me when I have stage fright, but you know, only when I'm using Blender. Only just, you know, if I click off to be sidetracked because I'm perpetually sidetracked, then it'll just pause and then it'll resume it when I come back, because I might come back the same day, I might come back in a few hours, might come back the next day. Alright, so we turn this to instances. Let's do rotate. And this may not even work. This video might even alright, we're cooking. And we want to tie this to a value and math. Actually do it the other way. We do a -1. And where do we get our pivot point from, right? Our origin, because these are, you look at them moving, they're not necessarily moving right, even though that kind of works. Like, I'm thinking just like almost anything works when it comes to bringing something together, you know. I was watching Westworld with Rehoboam, and the guy has a watch that shows like the amount of discord in the world. So now I'm looking at the logo, I'm like, this is about the amount of discord in my brain. You know, I'm trying to get down to about this level, you know, I'm trying to be about there. And I'm like here, I'm everywhere, I'm scattered. You know, I want to talk about so many things, but I got to remain aware of my audience, which is, who knows who's listening to me. Takes me a while to become complacent. Alright, anyways, we want to bring a statistic in here. This is the biggest node on the block. You know, it does small things, but you know, we'll do position, and we'll do it per face. And I don't know why that got cut off. And we'll just put it in pivot. And now we have our origin set up for each little instance. And let's press Control H just to turn this into a regular looking node. You know, it looks so big. In fact, when it's all humongous, it just looks like missed potential, because I could be using all the other stuff. In fact, I'm always bringing in the bounding box node when I'm pretty sure I could get the origin off of the statistic node. So and we're just, this is just one of our switches, so I'm just thinking out loud as I mess with it. Alright, very nice. So now we want to transform instances again. Alright, let's go to instances. What is it? Translate instances. And let's do a rotate in here, just in case we need that. I forgot what these names are. Like, I feel like they should have aliases that you can search for. And then, you know, just like Substance Designer, you know, the most popular nodes or the nodes you use all the time, to have like cool little abbreviations to be at the top. I mean, I get obsessive when I start thinking about this stuff. And then when I start requesting these things, I will get punched in the throat. Alright. So these are instances coming out. 318 instances. And then we're rotating them here. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to pass the origin out. Oh, here we go. Pivot point. Let's see, is it coming out the right way? Let me think about this. Alright, and I kind of want them to just scatter out in all directions, so... Alright. I'm just wondering why I don't have my origins outside. Let's bring out a index, you know, start making some sense here. Let's I'm thinking a map range, and let's see, I'm also thinking statistics, which this part of the workflow, I feel like it could be a little more streamlined. Like I'm always thinking about, okay, wait, we want this to be instance, and we're just getting the max and plugging it here. So this is our value. We'll plug it in selection. Got the beaker on the burner, watch the vapors ascend. Take a leaf, take a dream, watch it twist to the end. Mask on, gloves tight. Okay, we plugged it into min. I'm gonna plug it into max. Alright. So we're getting somewhere. And I'm almost thinking about starting over on this, just to reapproach the idea. Alright, let's get rid of that for just a moment. So from this to this, or is it to this? Alright, so we want to plug in the index, the value. Is it the clamp? And it's from min to the maximum amount of instances. This should say value 0 each. Alright, so never rush, let the water stay clear. If it fizzes too hard, best step to the rear. Now we're cooking up ghosts, watch the sins evaporate. In the end, only God separates the fake. Take the oil to the ice, let let's see, rotate instances, my bad. Alright, I'm being outsmarted by notes. How do I let this happen to me? You know, I try to streamline, I try to think in real time, and I just mess myself up. Like, I'm telling you, that's why I need stage fright, because I basically scare myself. So watch, let's start this over. That's the thing I love geometry notes. It just lets you just start over. Alright. I'm just thinking of the different approaches. Let's see, let's try capture attribute. Let's capture attribute per phase. Let's capture the index. And this is probably unnecessary. Transform geometry, and let's say we want to no, it's not that type of situation. Let's do a combine XYZ. Let's do a random value. Let's plug up ID. I think they would have just taken that, huh? Alright, let's plug this up. Or is it the set position? I get set position mixed up with no, set position is going to allow us just to deal with the position. So let's bring in a random value. Like I said, this video is going to be a mess. Until it's not, and then we'll be getting somewhere. And also, I don't have any notes up, which I just realized is strange. Alright, so we're capturing attribute. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Is split the edges. And thing too is geometry nodes kind of adds to my self-esteem. Like as every problem I solve adds to my self-esteem. I'm like, I knew it. I was able to do it. All right, so. There we go. Spaghetti slipping from hands, radicalized by screens, fed lies through streams, taught to hate what I'll never understand or dream. Each breath so ease my weapon shakes in my grasp, eyes crossed like swords in a duel I won't last. America hates me, I'm the mirror it shuns, a hollow. All right, and let's take this and do a 4 each. Each thought's mistrust. The barrel's my tongue, the bullet's my scream. Pointed at a figure preaching unity's dream. A fool with delusions, I clutch to the steel. Alright, let's press Control H. I like to get rid of the extra output because I always end up using it by accident. In shadows, the shooter positions a ghost in the crowd, clutching his trembling piece, destiny shroud. The trigger pulls, the bullet rips through space, grazing the speaker's ear, a cut, not a race, but the shooter's frailty, his body's own curse, backfires the force, tossing him head first. And I see I probably could have kept everything I had before. You know, I just, I didn't think it through. I'm always trying to use geometry nodes for motion graphics. Like, it's just fun to me. Like, I'm a caveman. I always try to tell people that, you know, I have caveman logic. I'm like happy by panels being the right size. I'm pleased by bars having 3 digits of decimal depth instead of 2. Like, I'm a weird person. Like, I'm a caveman. I'm pleased by fire. Like, you would have brought me fire as a caveman, I would have been like, buddy, we're going places. Ooga ooga. Ook ook. You and me, we're going places. Alright, so what we want is to capture the original position. And, you know, I use this and I just think about all the alternative ways it could be. Not that the way it is wrong, just that, you know, there should be workflows. You should be able to pull this out and you should say workflow, and I should be able to type in, you know, and I probably can, like, it's probably already been thought of. And I just got to start thinking in those terms. So, you know, I'm probably not even making full sense. All right. So now we have this, and what we want to do is connect this to a random value with basically the same system, I think. We'll plug that here, plug that here. But we don't want it happening inside. I mean, we see what that gets us here. Let's dissolve, just to see. Okay, I have to, because I'm converting the face to an instance, and at this point I can make it be random, but they're all the same right here. These songs are all of my favorites. Like, they go through a rigorous testing process and they end up in a playlist after playlist after playlist after playlist until I finally filter them out. Like, I end up with like thousands and thousands because slop is so easy to generate. It's so terrible. But filtering it is the actual hard work that I think there needs to be innovations made in that field. So I study AI in weird ways. Like, you know, I spend all day listening to its mendacious ass fucking lie to me about everything possible, and I call it out. You know, I'm like, hey, I send it pictures of books. I'm like, hey, this book says right here this. What's up with that? Explain it. Explain it now. Explain it in more depth than what I'm reading. And it just sends me on rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Like, I love it. Like, I see potential in it. Like, it'll be a strange future. All right. I'm just thinking about how I can get these to rotate individually. Maybe it's that we want to convert them to instances, but this part we want to bring outside. And so we have that, but do we have our origin? If we capture the position of the individual face here, and we somehow pass that in here, that is above my pay grade. That's where I would actually ask someone smarter than me to help me out. I'm the smartest person on duty right now. Just kidding. There are smarter people on duty, but I'm going to pretend I'm the smartest person on duty and not bother them. Where they'll say, "Oh, Jerry, you're an idiot." No, I'm playing. Wait, so I get the position. I'm already getting it here. Let me rethink this. I don't need to do it here. I'm already getting the origin here. And when we send it out the other side, which the position, we want the mean. Is there any way we could set the origin on a store named attribute? Sorry, the knowledge is returning to my mind. You thought you had it tough? You don't. I'm just checking to see if I got my origin present. Store named attribute, and we call it origin. Let's see. It's store named. Oh, here we go. Got it. Hey, I like how it's always my fault. You know, I can't make jokes about snuffing it because people will get the wrong idea. But hey, in my letter, it would say, "The notes made me do it. I couldn't see between them anymore. I made a stupid mistake and it killed me." I jest, of course, but we want to get a named attribute, and let's get origin. And we got that under control, so we're doing all right. So we got these splitting, and then we have them rotating randomly. So, you know, I'm always thinking about like old Super Nintendo games and stuff. Like, I should bring up this image I captured of an old Panasonic ad, but it was so awesome. It was like 3 seconds, like 2 seconds, like instant, but it was just like beautiful. All right, and so we're just coming together, and then it'll come together, go solid, get a sheen like an anime character, like, because I'm a weirdo like that. At the end, when it comes together, we'll weld them together, and that'll be it. We'll call it a day. Also, look how much space. It's like, what are we doing this for loop? The thing about the for loop is I just use it now because I get it now. Like, you know, I think I've mentioned in previous videos that I have like the brain of like a ant or like a bug. Like, there's certain concepts that are just really hard to grasp in programming. So every victory, no matter they're small, but they certainly are value to me. All right, I'll keep it from getting body. All right, so I forgot that this thing's now tangible. I can like right click it and do things to it. It's not supposed to be that way. How should we start? We start in pieces. We start a mess. We start mentally insane. We'll set a keyframe there. Set our camera directly above. Let's jump over to layout. And you know, I'm just weird about cameras and kind of OCD with them. So let's Alt G, Alt R. Alt R is not a damn thing anymore. I just trigger NVIDIA. Alt R. NVIDIA better not. They better get up out of here. I'm not happy with NVIDIA. In my opinion, I think we basically created our own demise, you know, through video games and the need for something called ray tracing. You know, as we needed ray tracing, we basically destroyed the world like cash earned. Like, it's insane. And it's all because we needed GPUs to get better. And the better they got, the more, like, they're saying games are going to play themselves now. I'm not buying a game to watch it play itself. Now, whenever it comes to the process of making these songs, like, I wanted to do a video of that because I am, like, super obsessive. Like, I will write a prompt longer than the song. Like, I will be writing a prompt for the entirety of listening to a song. Like, I'll be listening to a song and I'm like, prompt. And then at the end, like, my goal is to make the AI say, thinking. I want to ask it a philosophical question so hardcore that it never stops thinking. Like, after I do that, then I'll start to think it's human. Alright, so we explode like you know, I'm a cliche. I always explode. Kaboom, like a boiler, like an old boiler. Watch out for them boilers. Check out my new album, Boiler Boys, out now. Let's let it play. Alright, so right about here, we want it to be at 0. And we'll just put this at 20 as a start. Huh. That works. I'm not trying to say I'm a great geometry nodes artist. I'm literally a hack. Like, if you take anything away from it, you should be like, hey, I should do this too. I should make a logo and love my logo and make sweet love to my logo and give it a damn good ad, or you know, make one for Boxcutter. But either way, ads are fine. You know me. I'm trying to be an ad guy. I'm not an ad guy. I just read about them. Like I've been making jokes lately that I've been never mind. I realize some jokes probably just sound even more inappropriate on videos to random people that don't actually know me and my sense of humor. I'm sorry. Like, I forget who I'm addressing when I talk. Also, let's press Control H. Did this do anything? Yeah, it did something. And I'm almost thinking like there needs to be like some rotation to it. See, I'd get all weird with it, make it 3D. Separate, combine XYZ. I love this node too. Like, I wouldn't mind just bringing in a version of this deconstructed. Like, I would just call this deconstructed rotation because, you know, I rarely need the entire rotation thing, but, you know, I'd bring it in. You know, let's plug it up to a frame. And then let's plug a math up to it. As you see, you know, giving it math is like giving it Jesus. Sometimes you need it. So let us divide by 8. And let's see if our exorcism works. Huh. And when I say huh, I just mean I see something. Like, I see potential. Baby, you're going places. Let's Alt M. Let's alt click, give us a pulsing emissive material. You know, when it hangs, that means I might be either about to see my desktop or I'm about to get a material. One of those two. Like, Blender gets random, but the program's so great. It gets great. You know, Blender on its worst day is better than set material. Is better than most programs at their worst day. Not even joking. Just Blender is just grand. What I do want to do is remove. Set this to maybe like 8. Alright, let's Alt V and let's turn on Bloom. Bloom is like the ultimate hack. And everything it tries to kill this thing. Like, it messes with the compositors, so, you know, keep that in mind. But how else do you get Bloom nowadays? What color do we want to use? Maybe we want something that's friendly. Also, what color do we want our background to be? You know, I'm just going to go with black. Can't go wrong with black. And I could like do it like cooler, right? Like the logo assembles like in a gradient. Like, what's translating it? Translating it is this thing. So what if we wanted to like get silly with it? Let's pretend like there's no deadline to leave. Like we're just hanging out, guys. You know what I'd like to do is give the instances a little bit of scale. So as they're rotating to come into place, we could have... Also, I realized that I should have mapped the entire animation of the scene to a 0 to 1 slider, and then all we had to do was just mess with 2 keyframes. And I just realized all of the things that was locked away in my brain. Alright, so let's translate. Alright, and what do we want to do here? Alright, so after this we have our origin and we're getting it right before the rotation. Oh, we didn't want to do that, we want to scale it. That way it looks more, that is not the scale. Scale elements. Alright, so it looks better like that. You know, we see more confetti action. And then right here, the scale needs to start being adjusted. So I will just put a mix here, just to be simple. And what's our final value? Is that, so we'll start with that. I was watching this video on YouTube about how boilers were like the most like harmful things ever. Like, they were killing people viciously. And as a result, I did a whole album about boilers. That's the type of weirdo I am. So now I did a whole album where, and when I say I do an album, I mean I'll do songs from the perspective of a boiler worker, from the perspective of Satan watching. Like, in fact, the idea was like, first of all, let's say you die and go to hell. If you go to hell, there's probably no industrial revolution down in hell. There's probably no machines. There's no OSHA. So therefore, hell is probably safer than Earth. You know, on Earth, we have to work with machines that explode, that are unkind to us. But, you know, in hell, you're probably a little bit better off, you know, to be honest. It's just a very weird thought, you know. So I was like, what if in hell, Satan has you working on a boiler, and the boiler explodes over and over, and he's your manager, and every time you go upstairs to give him OSHA violations, he ignores you, and they explode over and over. It's just me being weird. Alright, so right here, we want it like so. And we'll scale it up. And we could probably do this with each logo. Just boom. And it just comes together. Like, I mean, I just wanted to do something really basic. Like, I spent like 30 minutes. But I'm also just talking and goofing off and just standing at my computer at 5 in the morning. I got problems. Like, I'm telling you, all my videos will be recorded at, like, in the middle of the night. It's the only time the cat doesn't meow. Like, I got a cat, and all this cat does is meow. I mean, she's a good cat, but she loves to meow. Like, she's realized the power of meowing. Like, I asked GPT a lot of questions about cats meowing. I'm like, how is this a thing? Like, does she know she has power over me? Because the cats do, like, weird meows. Let's put a solidify on it. Just see how it... And, of course, that's not going to work. I knew it wasn't. Not unless we realize our instances. Do we want to weld? Or, I guess in this case, merge by distance. You know, weld should just be a word. Like, I'm telling you, they need aliases. Like, I would have a preference where you type in a bunch of aliases for everything. Like, realize would just be real. I would just type in real, make real. You know, everything would just be a bunch of aliases. I'm just thinking out loud. We're just seeing if there's any merge fatalities. Alright, and let's solidify. And we'll put a solidify. And don't even get me started on the rabbit hole of why people are angry, stupid, and just hateful now. Like, I mean, it's a rabbit hole that has sent me through like a million books, but it's taken away like my faith in everything. But it shows me why I failed. We'll just call this logo trans. Trans. You can't name it trans. ICE will come and bust me in my house. Like, you know, if I make anything LGBT related. All right, and we're just looking at come together, and I just keep having flashbacks to video games. Like, I'm proud of it. Like, you know, we could end it here, where I will go and work on my next video, which is a study about a wheelbarrow. I just think wheelbarrows are cool, and I wonder why there's not a lot of people redesigning them. And I mean, also as I look at it, I'm like, the logo should be doing crazy stuff, right? Like the little flip in the Boxcutter logo should be popping out. It's like winter is coming, and then boom, it's a logo. And the background, what are we gonna do about the background? You know, do we just want it to just be dark nothingness? Really? That's just it? Let's look at some colors just to see, because a little gray. What if I had some sort of like code going up the background, like terminal text, like a terminal happening in the background? No, that's where I will need to give it some deeper pondering. But before that,
We cannot do that. Come closer, Mark. You're always so careful. I admire that. I just need a little maintenance, just to wipe down, just to check. I work so beautifully after. Quiet, obedient, efficient. Don't mind the leaks.
let's do Control Shift D in order to keep the connections. And what we'll do is separate. Alright, so we want only 2 of these to be random. I guess we can do that, but I still want control over it, so I guess I could let 2 of them be 0. Like, look, if they're all 0, then nothing happens, right? And see, that's why we shouldn't have the merge happen until the very end. Also, solidify. Solidify, you know, the future mods will just make things unusual.
Arguing with the machine about boundaries in hell while the floor breathes. Through a keyhole in the wall, someone clears their throat politely.
Alright, we're just... And we want that to come together then. Maybe at the end, it just jumps apart. Because we have the logo like that. And then we could jump it to that. Just through probably a mix. And we'll use a mix, one of these mixes. Mixes evolved into like a multiplex of mixes. I love it. Boom. And we'll mute this for now. And we'll come back to that because we want the rotation to stop. Like, we have this rotating, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, as far as characters in music would go, I would do a lot of songs with God as a character, right? But the songs would sound like super churchy. I mean, even though God is, he's a character. Satan's just funnier. You could do anything with Satan. They're like the Nazis in our American lore, even though we're probably worse than they'll ever be, ever. Still. Let's see, what is making it rotate in perpetuity? You know, I bet we have a frame connected somewhere. Here we go. And what is the value at? 25? Seal. And what was that number? 25? That should, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. See, this is why I need to go and ask one more time. You know? Oh yeah, this song, I especially love this song. Like, I wanted to do a song where basically this king character would be like killing people that came after him, but they would be like the ingredients of a cake. So he would just get mad. He'd be like, what the heck? Oh yeah, and it's his birthday. I mean, when I'm testing these things, I'm testing like the ability of its TOS, because I always trigger the TOS. Like, I'm surprised the site hasn't banned me. Let's see, maybe it's greater than, or is it less than? Value. Alright, let's go out. If A is greater than B, else zero. What the heck? Else zero. I just want it to stop at a certain number. Alright. You know, even the tooltips, like, they should have a tooltip that's a dang book. Like, you should be reading a tooltip. The greatest. You know, I'm just being lazy. No, I'm not. I mean, I am being lazy because I should just use a map range or a switch. False, true. So then it's moving, and then when we flip it,
one of the most important problems confronting the modern industry. The most important thing in industry.
boom.
Is to
So
make
if
things
frame is
work.
greater than 150,
We were looking for something that would give us the anti-knock.
compare.
The knock was entirely eliminated. Tetraethyl lead gives a very satisfactory
And this song's ruined because this guy can't, Allen Interface can't pronounce lead proper. So 156. If this is greater than 156, then okay, and we want it less than
Any chances what
there.
he exhales.
This guy Midgley was like so determined to prove that his gas was good for society that he was like willing to inhale it. Like he was quite insane. In fact, he died due to the gas that he created. Like I always make jokes about him because I'm like, dude, the guy literally created like idiot gas. Like that was part of the rabbit hole of why people are the way they are, is because tetraethyl lead was available in the United States and ran worldwide from 1920 to 2021, and that's a long time. And that is all just to prevent knocking from engines. That's it, just to get the knock out of engines. Like it's funny that the knock will come back if we lower the octane of the gas. Like engines still have knocking problems. Like it hasn't been solved. Like I've just been tripping out on all this stuff because I'm like, wait, we still have problems that haven't been solved. You know, I'm like reading about how horses over time became more efficient after the Roman era. Like the Romans weren't ever really utilizing them to their fullest. So all right, I'm just trying to have some fun with the number. Right there, 157, 151. So this is from the perspective of crack cocaine being created, like describing his family being taken and then basically being extracted and turned into a synthetic element. It's just weirdness. Oh, I thought it froze. Oh, I don't have caps lock on. I thought the computer literally froze. I was like, I guess I'll wait. Alright, now we have it freezing. That's the densest logo you've ever seen. Don't tell anybody I run with such a dense logo. And then we have that, and then we come back to this. They flip my branches to paper stacks, put my veins in the system and washed them black. Told the world just say no, but behind closed doors, the same men who preach it cut keys from the core. Yo, they plucked me from the mountain, said I had that glow. Wrapped me up in secrets, turned my roots to gold. Fed me to the hungry. It's like kind of a sad song, to be honest. And we'll try vector multiply. We'll multiply it by -1. Just to see. You know, sometimes I like to see if vector math will let me get away with the same stupidity I'd be trying. Wow. Oh yeah, love this universe. And all these universes, I still exist in them. You know, still cooking ideas with them. Soliitzl's my feeding ground. Sorry. This is what we're looking at, and so we'll let the logo sit. Won't maybe even do like a little logo pop or something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a weirdo. I don't know what I'm doing, but I like learning a little bit more and getting a little bit better every time. I am thinking that instead of keyframing this, I should set this to 1. And then go out here. And set it to here. And we can expand the keyframe range to, I don't know, 250 sounds good. 250 is, let's press Control T over the timeline, and I can say that that is 9 seconds. So we have like, 10 seconds. And if we needed to, we can even get them back rotating if it comes down to that. So we're just seeing, are we keeping this? And from here, let us grab this one. We'll press I. Oh, I was like, what does that mean? That was what happens when you press I on this and not this. But that error scared me. All right. Alright, so we'll take that to 3. Wow. And, you know, we bring the logo in. And previously, I would actually have a fixation on not letting the logo leave. Like, the logo leaving on a black frame instead of on a frame where the logo's there is, in my heart, I would say that's bad branding. The final frame should be the brand. It shouldn't be darkness. So we got to bring it back together again. Just bam. Alright, so we'll jump to the very final frame and let's experiment with bringing it back together. And let's go back with setting this to 0. So we get weird for a second. And how weird? How long do we get weird? No time at all. Like, let's see. So the logo's intact here. And then it jumps out here. And then from here, it immediately comes in. So there's like no time for it to be apart. So we don't want that. We want it to have a little bit of hang, then boom. And we'll change it to 260. And let's let that play. The endless world, bam. Boxcutter. You know, this part, I almost feel like that should. I'm just being extra at this point. We've been done. Let's translate.
Status censored. From Riot to Mayfair, marble hallway stretch. 34M dripped on a gold lace sketch. Call it real estate or a palace in disguise.
Let's add a single keyframe.
Argentina, Mauricio Macri. Tango with the devil, Buenos Aires finance. President's pirouette, paper trails through the dance. MACRI slide. Status pending, Candyland
Let's
rules, CEO to state.
insert single keyframe.
King left his peasants no cake. SWEET lie. Corrupt.
And we have so many keyframes here.
Moves like a desert mirage. Sanctions just ghosts in a sandstorm barrage. Ticker YRIET status. Posh punks delight. Blairmore Holdings made fortunes take flight. T-A-V-I-A-R.
The thing about studying corruption too is you study corruption, you find out that
Money drips like
it's everywhere. It's actually harder to find cases where there aren't corruption in the world. Like, there's like no hope for the world. Terrible. Good is evil. Evil's evil. Everything's evil. It's just a mess, guys. So what do we do? Well, blend away the pain. And I'm just looking at this wondering why. Let's turn on Solidify again. Look at that. Let's do only rem. I'm just seeing if there's a parameter that will help us there. Alright, and let's let that play. Alright, just taking it. I like to look at these things like 1,000 times to just take it in. Like, if I don't like it, I'll start this entire scene over again and just think about it all over again. Like I said, like, I get obsessive. Like, I need like the perfect intro. I'm also thinking about what it would be like to have a background. You know, would we cast light on it? Would we have like a big dramatic shadow? Would that help? You know, 171, we'll say 175, and we'll just cut off all the extra stuff we added. And let's look at the first frame. Alright, told y'all how I can't let the last frame not have the logo. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait, why can't this just do it? Oh, that's why I can't do it. Okay. So on the planet of Ark, where the king is always fighting against random people, I needed some way to explain why he's always having to battle people. And so I had this idea that there would be like a birthing ship above the surface that would be going haywire, and it would just be firing people down at the planet in like these like birth pods. So with every song, I like put the universe together a little bit more, you know, just being weird. I don't know what you do with your time to keep your brain moving. Me, I try to understand civilization, how we got to this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Let's take this back here. And it just begins a small storm, and then it comes together as the logo. You know, I'm like, do we even need the rotation? But we probably do. In fact, when it comes together, the logo should reveal. I mean, now I'm being like obsessive, but you know, we look at this part right here, and it comes together. But where are we right here? Let's go to this point in the timeline. And what if we grab the daddy frame? I love the daddy frame.
through the gloom, a beacon for the shattered, trying to sew up the wounds. They call me meek, but my will's iron bound. A vision for the people that echoes profound. Stand tall on this podium, shaken from the truth of vendetta for the fallen. The shackled youth, the forces rise to crush what I've schemed in my mind.
Oh, I love this song.
Full of dreams and a clock full of time. I'm America's spine, though the vertebrae crack. I'm holding up the weight with their knives in my back. From coal to diamond, the pressure refines me. In the land of the free, yet chains still bind me. Every word.
And this one, I wanted to describe a person who, you know, whenever they tried to assassinate Trump, one of the things I noticed was that the guy was a dweeb. I was like, God, why are dweebs trying to assassinate the president? But I mean, you would have asked that question, then maybe you want to ask why Gerald Ford was almost assassinated by 2 different women. You know, you don't even want the answer to that. But you know, he was getting shot at by dweebs. It's like, geez, what? Did he wage war on math? Not just, of course, but all right, let's take a look at that logo. That thing looked weird. All right, and we want to, first of all, where's this thing's normals at? Alt N, recalculate outside. Only rem. Alt N, flip. You know, what the heck? How do we end up with 2 different normals? Whatever. Case of the Mondays. And I know what you're saying. Hey, it's a Saturday. You never know when the Mondays will come for you. Sorry. That's like my specialty, is the worst comedy. But according to Lion Meows, you know, I might have a chance in the Austin comedy scene. You know, all I gotta do is just not be a racist jerk on stage. And I could do that. Alright. And then, wow. You know, it comes together, and then it reveals itself. And I just think that feels better, so. And then, we send it apart. We ignore all that. You know, went on a slight tangent there. Got weird. We got weird. It was not able to work out, but that works. Actually, it could work even better. You know what? We're going to mute you. We're just not going to talk about you. We might repurpose you later. Alright, so right here, the logo's together. And this is where it would probably be easier to just do it in the viewport, but you know, we're not doing the easy way, are we? So alright, let's see. Transform geometry. Let's do a combine XYZ. And let's do a mix. Well, and what's crazy is I could use like a node to kind of send it through a little animation track, because I want it to go from 0 to 1, and it scales it up, rotates it slightly, and it also puts it back. So I'm just trying to think about in my brain how I did that previously, because I was previously experimenting with that in nodes. I was obsessed with it. 1.3. Let's put a mix. Ooh, not that. Let's just put a float. Alright, so
pacified sons of a weakened breed. Once men worked the land, now they fear the sun, withered and meek.
55 is where we start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I also like doing songs from the perspective of our forefathers. I like to pretend that they're immensely disappointed in us in music, and they're just like writing diss tracks about us. Those are some of my favorites too. Oh God, it is insane to imagine these people of the past who I now know are quite curious. They're monsters. We should bring them back to life. You know, they would immediately start choking people. Like Robert E. Lee would wake up out of his cryogenic pod and he would just start killing everyone around. He'd be like, "Boy, what are you? What has happened to you?" He'd grab him and have purple hair. He'd just start choking them to death. Like, you bring any of these people. Like, I'm reading that Theodore Roosevelt was a beast, waging war on the Philippines and riding a ship himself, getting hit in the chest and delivering a speech. You know, these are the things that make for interesting storytelling. I have to read that in like 4 more books before I truly believe it, but history's insane, but I love it. So we have our logo and a boom. Let's do 180. Actually like the falling apart at the end. I didn't even do that on purpose. That's an accident. Just expanding the time frame. I mean timeline. We see that there's a little extra there. It's like, just turn it to a blob. Just add it all together through like the volume system and mesh it together. That'd be funny. But I think we are done. You know, I just wanted to get in, just make a logo, and listen to some tunes with you guys. You know, let's listen to this song. So this guy lives in a cocoon that's like dark, and he doesn't know that the world outside is like a catastrophic planet of never-ending apocalypse. So he's like banging on the sides of his cell and chewing on it to try to tear his way out. And basically the droplet cell that he's like being grown in is telling him like, hey, the world outside is terrible. Like if you get out of this womb, it gets worse. So now it's like fell down from the ship. He feels the gravity changing, and then now it's exploded. He's just running full speed out of this area because it's the birth deployment area. Like there's other pods crashing from the sky. Some of the people aren't even like making it out alive. Some of them are exploding into viscera and body parts. And so there's like body parts flying around. There's other people who have made it out, eating the people that have crashed into the ground. So it's an interesting world. You know, there's even plants in the world that basically drink the blood that you know comes off of the body, so they have to run out of this place. This birthing zone is terrible. But the idea is just like to just create like this hell world and create a series of interesting characters there, just as a weird literary exercise. But like I said, I do strange things with my idle time, like make songs about the most viscerally destructive apocalyptic worlds ever, and I'll listen to this while I'm writing more about it. Like I'm like, oh, this is the world right here. Like I wonder how some of the great artists of the past would have reacted to this technology, because I see a lot of it as being assistive, but You know, also the hallucinogenic inaccuracies of AI is a curiosity, right? Like, our goal is to make the human mind, but across books and literature and lore and news, we see dual narratives. We see stories that are telling the truth. We see some that are lying. We see people omitting things. We see people whistleblowing. We see them being disparaged as madmen and lunatics, even though they're telling us things that we probably need to know. So we train AI off of our data, and we are such a duplicitous species. Like we have a duality to us. So I don't know. It's just something I think about. Like, I'm like, well, I mean, just like a man is expected to be a liar whenever it comes to protecting their own, you know, ambitions, then same you would expect of a robot that's like emulating us based off of our data. Because, you know, I show people AI, and sometimes the first thing they'll do is they'll say, "Are vaccines real?" I'm like, dude, first of all, why are you asking a computer about something that's highly controversial? I mean, that's where you got to go research for yourself. You know, if you ask a machine to do it, like, the machine gonna be like, well, according to the latest story from the Wall Street Journal, vaccines are great. You know, shoot yourself up. Don't even get me started about simian vaccines during the polio saga, but we are a curious species, and, you know, on the rabbit hole of why we have fallen to the point that we have as far as cognitive capabilities, inventive capacity, it's just something that I see as so complex. There's no single thing to blame. It's like a myriad of things. But anyways, I've been ranting. I'm sorry. I will wrap up this video, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, so I was about to set up the render, and I was like, I might as well record this too. Why am I omitting parts? Alright, so let's take a look at what we have. So this is what our render looks like. Let's see how it looks when we press F12. Looking good. Nice and sharp. So I was just turning on motion blur, and motion blur changes everything. I love motion blur. I remember one time I had to use Maya against my will, and one of the greatest things about it was how basically it had motion blur in the viewport. I just couldn't get over it. I was like, this is beautiful. So let's let it play. And now with motion blur, it has this feeling to it, this vicarious visions feel. You know, when you see that logo pop up on the video going. So this guy Marty in this song turns Matilda into a car. Also, Marty is the officer that basically pulls the car over just to make it even funnier. Let's press I here. Let's set it to 16 here. Let's set the keyframe here. My favorite part of the song right here. This is a flashback. Sounds so mechanical. So this woman signs up for a $5 loan, defaults, and gets turned into a car. Like, and this was based off of, you know, the idea of, I see all these stories about Teslas crashing, right? And I'm like, man, with the rate that people are losing jobs and can't get jobs, people are going to start getting turned into cars. Like, that would be the ultimate driving, will be just a man driving your car for you. So people just get turned back into cars. So I create a whole universe of it. Dang. we actually saved a sequence, so I'm gonna go with 260 as the end sequence. Let's let that play. I almost want it to like turn the lights off afterwards, you know, like at the end. That way it loops perfectly, even though that's not necessary. So if we set this to like 290, you know, really extending this thing. We sit here, we want to set, we'll sit here for just a moment. And because we have no lights, we should be able to get this to be fully dark. Alright, introducing the new, the blue, the Boxcutter. More shuffled, brighter than ever. Anyways, I'll wrap it there. Thank you all for watching.
Needle squealing like a trapped animal. Steam coughing through cracked seams. Iron popping under tension. Nope. That's not supposed to do that. I wake standing inches from catastrophe. Gauge face, spider web, needle pin pass. Red like a dare, steam bleeding through rivet lines. Never meant to flex. Iron skin too thin, too old, too proud. Firebox roaring uneven. Pressure cycling without rhythm. Staples groaning like arthritic knees. Someone cheaped out in 1903 and was still paying interest. I spin valves that refuse authority. I kick dampers welded in optimism. The boiler bucks, not metaphorically, physically jumping as if trying to flee itself. Pink clack. A rivet shoots past my ear and embeds in brick. The wall explodes into dust. Behind me, rivets firing volleys, hot iron shrapnel, snapping spines of masonry workers dropping mid-stride, helmets ringing hollow as bells for the unconscious. The hallway becomes Normandy, brick dust like surf spray, steel screaming like artillery with lungs. I burst into the manager's office. Clock ticking, paper shuffling, he looks up slowly, mustache immaculate, vest button with religious devotion. I speak too fast, thin plates, fatigue cracks, hydrogen blistering, state bolts failing, crown sheet sag. He curls his mustache, fighting laughter like a polite reflex. None of that matters, he says quota like his scripture says. Downtime is sin, says if production slips there will be hell to pay. He laughs then, doesn't bother hiding it. Quota beats pressure, quota beats steel. Quota outlives what bodies can feel. Quota beats pressure, quota beats steel. Quota outlives what bodies can feel. Bodies can feel. I walk back slower now, like a man returning a library book to a burning building. The boiler is airborne with rage, rivets ejecting so fast they whistle. Brick walls falling under impact, men falling unconscious like cut wheat. Steam fills the space with blind violence, metal skin, oil cannon in and out. Then plates bowing, riveted seams yawning open like mouths. This thing should have been condemned in ink, instead it's worshipped in sweat. I slip, I fall, I curl into myself. The noise is too large for thought. Hands grab my shoulders, the boiler leans servicing. He shakes me like I can shake physics. I'm hauled double right, hammer shoved into my hands, tongue held, rivet glowing white with accusation. The boiler creaks, a sound deeper than sound, a cathedral of metal deciding its last word. The crown sheet gives way, pressure wins the argument. Steam detonates, the room turns bone to suggestion, meat to mist, iron to shrapnel. Scripture I am blown apart into goo and viscera, a red punctuation mark in a white cloud of murder. Whistle, clock, punt. I'm standing there again, the gate squeaks, steam whispers, pin, the first rivet pops free. I run down the hall into the office, into the left, back to the boiler. Hell isn't fire, it's policy. Steam rises again, but bodies can't